Greetings, Internet users. In the immeasurable vastness of the universe, we find billions of galaxies and billions of stars and planets. Our Earth is a tiny dot of great beauty that majestically orbits at the right distance from a solitary star. The physical laws are so perfect in our world and throughout the universe that it becomes inevitable to wonder if there is an all-powerful God who created the human being and everything that surrounds us. There are scientific evidences both for and against the existence of God. We will start with the first ones, and as we progress through the video, we will explore the rest to arrive at a conclusion. The order of our universe and the perfect mastery of the forces that govern it make us think of the belief in a superior being who created these laws, the natural laws. The first evidence of the non-existence of God is that all the laws of the universe have been explained without the need for God. Any unknown phenomenon in the past has eventually been explained by the laws of physics. Gravity, relativity, quantum mechanics, and other rules can explain what happens in the universe, predict large-scale phenomena, and how celestial bodies behave. These natural laws provide clues about when asteroids and comets might collide with Earth without invoking any God. Another indication of the non-existence of God is that the world progresses without the need to invoke Him. The development of science and its laws is humanity's greatest achievement, and they can explain the world around us without the intervention of a divine being. Thanks to this knowledge, our society has advanced, and we now live in a more technological world than a religious one. Science is the best tool we have, and we demonstrate it every day. We have asked questions about our environment, and through science, we have achieved significant accomplishments in medicine, space exploration, and understanding physical laws. The universe self-created, the non-existence of God can also be attributed to the Big Bang. Stephen Hawking believed that the existence of God was not necessary to explain the origin of the universe. The universe spontaneously emerged from quantum fluctuations in the vacuum, according to the laws of science. The insignificance of humanity in the universe makes the existence of God improbable. There is so much space out there, mostly in a hostile environment where we couldn't survive. Billions of planets are sterile bodies, energetic phenomena that destroy any form of life. There is order in chaos, and everything can be explained through logical reasoning. According to the paradox of omnipotence, God cannot create something greater than Himself, and it becomes contradictory if that being wants to know the position of all the atoms in the universe over 13.7 billion years and how the future will be. Such a being should have an infinitely larger memory than all the universes in all possible states. Furthermore, an all-powerful God should have everything resolved and wouldn't need to create anything by Himself. Desires and needs are purely human concepts. The universe functions like an autopilot that is scientifically guided. Quantum particles can appear and disappear from existence and temporarily change the amount of energy at a spatial point, according to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Because the universe, in its beginnings, was in a quantum state, it is plausible that it gave rise to the singularity called the Big Bang, where there was an immense amount of energy with extremely high density. This can be seen in black holes, where so much energy is condensed at a specific point that it distorts spacetime, where time doesn't exist. Therefore, time as we know it could not have existed before the Big Bang, as there was no time for a creator. The universe is a gigantic, natural, and eternal machinery that changes according to the laws of physics. This universal machinery can be naturally explained without the need for miracles. The human being evolved. The non-existence of God is attributed to the appearance of the human being on Earth. The human being was not created by anyone, it evolved. The appearance of humans can be explained without the need for a divine being who put us on Earth as if by magic. The theory of evolution states that living beings change over time, and each specimen has genetic variations. Those better adapted to the environment survive, leading to changes over time. Evolution is very slow, but it can be observed over hundreds of thousands and even millions of years. The human being has been changing gradually and adapting to the environment, which means we come from simpler organisms. It's the same process where sometimes our mutant cells become malignant. It's the cost of evolutionary diversity and natural selection. Evolution is not only observed in animals but also in the universe. The systems that work best survive, and everything becomes increasingly complex. The universe originates from a subatomic particle and evolved into the current system, just as we come from unicellular organisms of the primordial ocean. Now, let's examine the evidence for the existence of God, the fine-tuning. The universe appears perfectly adjusted to allow its existence and the emergence of life. It contains at least 15 constants within a very narrow range of values. Any change in one of these constants, and the universe wouldn't exist. This has been demonstrated through computer simulations of new universes with different changes in the constants, resulting in countless sterile universes where planets cannot form or have not evolved. For instance, if the mass of the neutron were slightly larger than that of the proton, nuclear reactions would be based on the neutron, and life-sustaining elements wouldn't form. If the values of the four fundamental forces gravity, strong force, electromagnetic force, and weak force changed, even slightly, stars wouldn't form. Or the universe wouldn't have begun. Another example is the nuclear efficiency of hydrogen fusion to helium in stars, which corresponds to 0.7% of its mass converted into energy. If that value were 0.6%, only hydrogen could exist. These examples illustrate how finely tuned our universe is, suggesting a response to a higher intelligence that adjusted these values among millions of possible combinations. The constant of change is another evidence for the existence of a higher being. Everything is subject to change, nothing remains static despite the apparent order and evolution. Something drives this change, otherwise, there would be no evolution or the Big Bang. The universe seems deterministic on a macroscopic level, explicable with mathematics, but at the subatomic level, particles move randomly and unpredictably, beyond any laws. Chaos in the quantum world allows small changes that are imperceptible on large scales but significant over time, resulting in a certain order and the development of countless combinations leading to life throughout the universe's history. The origin of life is astounding, as it arises from inert matter, creating something as complex as life itself. The genetic message in DNA self-replicates, is copied by RNA, transmitted to amino acids, ultimately forming proteins in living beings' bodies. The extraordinary aspect lies not only in the process of creating life, which requires specific conditions, but also in the intelligent design behind the information encoded within DNA. Information is transmitted through a code, and for life to emerge, it requires not only the necessary elements but also the information. Just like a computer needs electronic components and programming to indicate how the system should behave, each cell contains a vast amount of information capable of receiving, storing, and transmitting, which is absent in any inert material. The evidence indicates that the information encoded in DNA was already inscribed in the universe before stars could create complex elements for life formation. My beliefs about God don't seek to prove the truth, they are merely a personal opinion based on my current knowledge. With this clarification, let's continue in several videos. I've made my stance clear, but today, I want to be more explicit. I was raised in the Catholic religion. However, I kept seeking answers until I discovered that there were more religions in the world, each with its own God and different concept of creation, each with its own rules. So why would my religion be truer than the rest, just because by chance, I was born in a Catholic country? If I were born in Arabia, I would be a Muslim, and in ancient Greece, my god would be Zeus. This made me realize that the answers were not here but in the universe of science. That's when I discovered a new world full of possibilities. God was not that magnanimous and humanized being I had been told about. Facing the evidence of the existence and non-existence of God, I arrived at a conclusion: I don't believe in any religion. God doesn't exist as a supernatural entity external to us. And since something cannot be created from nothing, whatever gave shape to the universe is God, and we are within it. However, that God is not a biological being or a supernatural entity. God is the eternal energy of the quantum vacuum, which takes on different forms. It doesn't have a purpose we can comprehend, and it cannot be measured by science because it exists outside of space-time, where our laws cease to function. It is eternal, and without that eternal energy with quantum information, there would be nothing. God is the code that transmits information and allows the existence of various energy states, giving all of us an opportunity. The only rules of God in this universe are found in science and its natural laws, which we all obey, regardless of our religion. The laws of nature are perfect and not human-made, so they don't need to be dictated by God. They have been in place since the beginning of the universe and cannot be evaded. They are part of the system and our bodies. Our universe follows them, whether you are a human, a plant, an animal, or any other living being. What many religions call God and give a human form to is energy and information, and the information it contains is so vast that it is even greater than the universe itself. In my view, it cannot be understood or captured in any computer or book. It is a higher state of consciousness that transforms energy into matter and sends information through the quantum network, allowing existence instead of nothingness. There is even the possibility of other, even larger and more complex multiverses, and all of that would be God, a demonstration of the vastness of that universal consciousness. It plays music through the symphony of vibrating strings in the 11 spatial dimensions, where each subatomic particle is created. The universe is God's music, the universal mind. It has been demonstrated that our genetic code already existed before the formation of the earth, and a tiny part of that information must have been transmitted through the great universal consciousness. This makes us a part of God, of the same universe, leading to a question: is God testing itself through us? As humans, we are relatively intelligent, and although we understand certain things, we cannot comprehend the entirety of the universe. We are allowed to know fragmented and limited information, and it is up to us to adapt to the universe and its natural laws. Respect, love, and empathy for others, nature, and living beings are key factors for our survival. Unknown to many, paradise is already here on Earth. We are in the genesis of our civilization, and our actions will determine whether we are deserving of surviving or destroying paradise, and if more capable beings will take over. If we do things right, a universe full of authentic treasures and possibilities awaits us, surpassing filters that the same code, in its nature, created. Evolution is the extraordinary cosmic machinery of God that allows organisms to adapt and improve. The tools to improve our world and reach the highest peaks are already within us. We only depend on ourselves to learn from mistakes and follow the laws of nature. Perhaps one day, we will be closer to God and understand its true nature. Now you know. If you like this video, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, share on social media, and leave your comment.